Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're back here at Clearwater Toyota, and guess what? I have that SUV, not a crossover SUV, body on frame SUV that still has people talking. It's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a redesigned 2025 4Runner TRD Sport. But before we get into this black beauty of a 4Runner, let's talk about what's going on here. So, like I said, a lot of people are still talking. A lot of them are arguing. They're arm wrestling, they're mud wrestling, they're tongue wrestling about the redesign of the fabled 4Runner. It's been around since the 1990s. And for a long time, there was no change whatsoever with the previous generation. And then when Toyota decided to make the changes, they went all in. Now, there are about 9 different grades of the 4Runner that you can get. And when you compare that to a lot of the competition, you'd be lucky to have 3 or 4 different grades depending on what competitor you're looking at. But what I want to find out is this the best way to buy it and spec it if you're going to go 4Runner? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this TRD Sport and find out. Right off the bat, I'm not a large fan of black vehicles, but man, does it look good when it's brand new and all shiny and spiffy. Now, at the front of the business, like we talked about before, you're getting that full redesigned look. All new headlight housing, LED headlights, those daytime running lamps. And then what I like about the TRD Sport in particular is you get painted fender flares, body colored painted fender flares. You'll notice how we have those openings to flow air, those air curtains built into the fender flare, and then everything else is painted that nice, very slick black. Now you do have an air dam on the bottom. Don't fear, you can remove the air dam, but it is there to help with getting some better MPGs. But you could see the family resemblance of the 4Runner with the same chassis that it shares with the Tacoma. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, as we come across that front grille, I like on the TRD Sport how you have that blacked out Toyota badge looking good. Flat black on the grille, fully functional up top. Working our way down, you do have a forward-facing camera, and you get more functionality in the center grille, plus you're getting those LED fog lamps. But like I said, with this being a TRD Sport, it's all body color. So even along the bottom edge here, this sort of skid plate garnish, they call it, it's been painted the same body color. Obviously, if you got a red 4Runner TRD Sport, this would be all red. So let me know what you think about that blacked out look with our stealth black 4Runner. Now, as we rise up, TRD Sport does get the hood scoop. Now, the bad news is that it's not functional. You could use it as a pencil box. That's about it. But it does give it a nice muscular look, and I love the bulge on each side. And because ours is black, the gloss black of the hood scoop blends in nice and cleanly. But man, oh man, could you imagine if they could make that functional? That'd be a nice extra touch. Now, as we come around the bend, one of my favorite things about the TRD Sport are the wheels. You're getting 20-inch wheels, nice large wheel, machined aluminum with the satin black, the TRD badge. What does that stand for? Toyota Racing Development. And then if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this tire? You're basically looking at 265 on the width, 55 series sidewall. And because the TRD Sport is made more for the street, you're getting a more street-ready tire, not something that is off-road spec. But the 20-inch wheels look fantastic. I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing in, show you that upper control arm, the springs, the suspension, and that steel box frame looking beefy. That's that TNGA platform that's shared with the Tacoma. But let me know what you think about the wheels with our particular black 4Runner. Coming down the sides, you have black on your mirror caps, LED turn signals, 360-degree cameras. From the side, this is a midsize. It's not a compact. It's a midsize 2-row SUV. Gloss black raised roof rails, and I like the way you get that traditional TRD Sport blacked out badging. Everything just looks really clean. I'm not a huge fan of these accessory steps. They're kind of, I don't know, they kind of dangle down, kind of goofy, but it is going to give you protection. These are removable because you do have a rock slider. Maybe if you're in the mall parking lot and you drive over a big parking block, this will protect the frame when you're driving over those parking blocks. Now, as we come down the side, styling wise, they really took a lot from other generations of the 4Runner and put a modern twist on it, especially the way they did the rear quarter glass, how it kind of curves up towards the roof line. And then out back, it's super clean, just the way I like it. Nice color match long roof spoiler. You do have your wiper built in. The lift gate glass does go up and down. Not many SUVs could do that. And you do have your black badging with the Toyota name embossed in the center here, and everything else nicely just super clean. They did a great job on the taillights. Love those LED taillights with the black in it. And then working our way down the ground level, you do have your full tow hookup, and you have your spare tire mounted up nice and high, giving you a clean look. The only thing I would like to see added that I'm gonna zonk is that sad looking exhaust pipe there, that tailpipe. That'd be nice if you had a TRD catback exhaust with some gloss black tips on it. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and get to the most controversial point of this new 4Runner. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I am gonna zonk that, and Toyota's not even giving you an engine cover anymore, so no more engine cover like on the previous generation. They really wanna show off that 4-banger and all the hoses and wires. But what do we got going on? It's a 2.4 liter turbocharged inline 4 paired to an 8-speed automatic. It puts out 278 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque. It'll do 0 to 60 in about 7.3 seconds. Top speed is governed to 115 miles an hour. MPGs, you're looking around 20 in the city, 24 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 5,111 pounds. Now, you can also get the iForce Max setup, which would, of course, give you the hybrid setup, but this one is just an iForce engine. So this replaces the V6. You got a 4-cylinder turbo. The good news is you could actually tow more than the previous gen, an extra 1,000 pounds, which brings it up to 6,000 pounds worth of towing. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and hear if it makes any sound. All right, guys, we're inside this all-new 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD Sport. This is a TRD Sport Premium, so you're getting some extra goodies. But I know you're probably wondering, well, Joe, how much is it? Because I've always wanted a 4Runner. I didn't listen to you. I didn't buy one of the last of the previous generations that were brand new, but now I want one. I like the look of the new one, and I like this TRD Sport. How much is it? Remember, it's a premium, so you're getting some extra amenities, especially on the interior. You're looking at an MSRP of $59,000. But let's see what you get when you go with the new 4Runner. To the door panels, all restyled. Now, my zonk is that even though this is a TRD Sport, you're not getting any soft touch material up top. It's just hard black plastic. Thankfully, there's no gloss black around the switchgear. You do have the TRD Twinkie tray there in the center, 8 Twinkies with the TRD badge, soft on the armrest. Door pocket is a little shallow, so you're just gonna be able to maybe get yourself 3 Frappa Lappa Crappas from Starbucks and maybe a bran muffin. And of course, we have the JBL Premium sound system. Now going from the door panel to the dash, knock, knock, who's there? Hard plastic. You have a place where you could put, I would say, 4 7-Eleven hot dogs. And I like the way they brought some gray finish in here, just to, you know, spice it up a little bit so it's not just all black. You got a USB-C nicely placed on the side. This does come with the removable Bluetooth speaker. Somebody already removed it so that nobody doesn't steal it out of this vehicle. Get a 5-finger discount. Because this is a premium, you're getting 14 inches. So gone is the 8-inch standard display. You're getting 14 inches. That's a dream for you. And there it is, easy to use. Of course, we've already shown you all the different driver profiles, all the different things that you could set up. Because this is a TRD Sport, you have a bright red TRD engine start stop button. Let me throw it in reverse because this is gonna blow your mind. Camera quality is great. And I love the way with the 360 cam, I mean, you got it every which way. Really, really nice, especially so you don't curb those beautiful 20-inch wheels. And then we're basically right where we started, right there. Of course, I'm 80s on 8. That's what I'm all about right there. Working our way down, Premium has 3 stages of heated seats, but the good news is 3 stages of ventilated seats. Standard climate control, which is surprising. So you just have your blower fan and your temperature, heated steering wheel. I know that was a big thing people want. Some toggle switches for your AC controls, an oh crap handle for your passenger, and then you have 2 USB-Cs, a 12-volt, and 1 wireless charging pad. The good news is you could put 2 Snickers. Just stand them up in there so you don't get hangry. We do have the TRD shifter for the 8-speed automatic. This is a 4x4, so you got your 2 high, 4 low. Let's twist this for your modes. There's your camera view. A lot of blank buttons here. Sometimes that makes me feel sad, but not as sad as the black plastic on the door panels. 2 cup holders, the same key fob that Noah used on the Arc. It is nice that it says 4Runner on the back. That's about the nicest thing about that key fob. Rubbermaid on the armrest. It's a semi-soft Tupperware lid material. Lift it up. Oh, somebody left us some trash. That's great. What you can put in there, though, is 4 glazed Krispy Kreme donuts. And remember, Donut Day, the official donut holiday is coming up where Krispy Kreme, you go in and say Raiti's Rides, they will give you a free glazed donut, Krispy Kreme. You just gotta make sure you go on the right day. I don't know what day that is. Seats, the soft-tex, the stitching. I like the way it's got the show, like the see-through kind of design behind there just to give it a little bit of extra pizzazz. You do have electric seats for the passenger, electric seats for the driver, but the biggest thing that makes me sad and where I drop a zonk is there's no sunroof. So the only way to get your Sunny D is to buy yourself a bottle of Sunny D. I used to love Sunny D. My mom would only buy it for me if she had a coupon or if it was on sale. Other than that, it was orange juice, which I like orange juice, but I love Sunny D. But why don't you come over here? I want to show you these gauges right behind the steering wheel for you to grab onto. Let me show you. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel of this 4Runner TRD Sport. Pedal box, you do get a sporty aluminum brake pedal, sporty throttle that's aluminum, but a plastic dead pedal. That's a zonk. I do like the 4Runner TRD Sport floor mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. And of course, we have our seat controls, that nice lower lumbar. I'm 6 feet tall, and even though this may look a little smaller on the outside than the previous gen, lots of room in here. Steering wheel, you get the nice leather. Even some stitching on the horn button, which is nice, flat black on all the switchgear. It does have a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have that nice 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that when I go through the different modes, check it, 1, 2. It's nice to have all that display there. Easy for you to see and read. And what's nice is just 3 modes. Of course, we're gonna leave it in sport mode. That's how I like to roll. But it does have a boost gauge and then a cornucopia of information in the center. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the back seat, because this isn't a 3-row, it's a 2-row midsize. Let's get in the back seat and see if your passengers are gonna like the new 4Runner. All right, guys, back seat time. And because this is a 2-row, lots of room. I'm 6 feet tall. Let me make sure I'm sitting straight. Nice, plenty of headroom. Let's see if these seats recline. They do a little bit. They don't slide though, so that's a bit of a zonk, is they don't slide, they just recline a little bit. Now the backs of the seats, you got the soft-tex, you got large pockets, you could put a pizza pie. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. That's Amore. I remember when my father used to sing that when I was a kid, but you could probably put like a 16-inch thin crust. None of this deep dish stuff. Deep dish is like eating a loaf of bread. Thin crust. Let me know if that's how you roll your dough in the comment section. Down below, you do have little AC vents, 2 USB-Cs, and a nice home power source. We already talked about the seats. You do have the JBL speakers back here and a nice oh crap handle while you're eating your slice of New York pizza. Remember to fold it. And if you eat your pizza with a knife and fork, we're gonna have to have a long talk. The good news is, while we're having a talk, we can put our elbow right here because it's nice and soft. 2 cup holders. Let's get into the cargo area because I want to take you for a spin in this TRD Sport. All right, guys, we have the lift gate up. I wanted to already have the seats down just to show you how much room you have. So when the seats are up, that rear seat, you're looking at 57 cubic feet of space. With the seats down, you have 84 cubic feet of space, but notice that you still have a lot of room from the cargo level floor to the actual back of the seat. Now, one thing you can do, if you choose to do so, is you could actually, let's see if I can make it happen here. You could do this, and that's where you're gonna be able to get that extra space. The problem is, the zonk that I hate is you have to go over to the passenger door. If you got a bunch of crap back here, like say you just have about 25 Chihuahuas and you're trying to get them into the back of this Toyota, you're not gonna wanna walk over to the passenger door because you're gonna lose Chihuahuas. They're gonna run away. And we don't want that. We wanna rescue dogs. So it would be nice to actually have handles back here. Now the good news is we do have our thump-a-thump-thump subwoofer for our JBL sound system. You also do get a home power source, which is nice. And even though this is not a third row, on this particular vehicle, I like the way that they leave the cubbies and stuff for where you would have a third row, because as you can see, you could put like your safety kit, you could put some dog toys for your Chihuahuas, you know, all different things back here, some bones for them to chew on so that they can feel comfortable before you get them home. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready, I think this 4Runner's ready as well. Let's go for a little spin and see if the 4-cylinder turbo is really that bad. All right, guys, we're behind the wheel of this 2025 TRD Sport Premium. Right away, the interior changes compared to the previous generation are absolutely fantastic. The seats look great, they're comfortable. When you go premium, you got the heated seats, the ventilated seats. And to be honest with you, the 8-speed automatic is paired very, very nicely with the 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. It really is. It does a great job. Are you ready? On throttle, here we go. Smooth shifts from the 8-speed. There's a bit of wind noise, but with those 20-inch tires, there's really no road noise because they're more of a street-going tire compared to an off-road style tire. Getting to that 14-inch infotainment system is well within reach, and you have that great-looking 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. I just wish for many of you, because I personally don't care, but for many of you, I'd rather have also a sunroof because this is the premium trim. Just a standard sized one. I love seeing the big bulge in the hood. Too bad the hood scoop isn't functional, but it does look good. And that's what I love about the TRD Sport. The TRD Sport just has a nice balanced look. You ready? We're gonna go on throttle again. On throttle, here we go. I feel like there's just enough power. It's definitely quicker than the previous generation. And you are getting better fuel economy, because remember, the previous generation had a 5-speed automatic. This has an 8-speed automatic. Helps with the overall driving attitude of the car and also the fuel economy, besides the 4-cylinder turbo. Visibility out the front's great, visibility out the back. You got the full suite of Toyota Sensing 3.0 plus safety features. It just rides really well. It rides a lot better than the previous generation. Still has that little bit of truck SUV feel to it because it is a box frame, a steel box frame. It's not a modular frame like what you would find on a crossover SUV. But the handling is very, very buttoned up. It doesn't sway all over the place. And I really feel if you're never going to off-road, TRD Sport is a great way to go, especially the premium trim. But let's see how she handles. You do get some sound pumped in through the speakers. Toyota's been actually pretty good with that pumped in sound. It actually helps a lot with the overall kind of driving feel of the vehicle rather than just hearing a 4-cylinder turbo churn away. Gives a little bit of deeper sounding experience. But like I said, steering, they really worked on the steering of the vehicle, the suspension, everything feels really fantastic. But I'm hoping that this has been a good, quick overall review of the TRD Sport version of the Tacoma. We're gonna get, of the 4Runner. We're gonna get back to Clearwater Toyota and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day, another hot day with this black beauty of a Toyota 4Runner TRD Sport. We definitely gotta thank Chris and everybody here at Clearwater Toyota for getting us access to this vehicle. Let me know what you think. No V6, but the TRD Sport does bring a lot of amenities, especially when you spec it the way that this one is. Let me know if you are digging the value of this TRD Sport 4Runner compared to the other grades. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Reds family. Gotta give it up to Latte Lori. She's caffeinated up and she's ready to do the magic, which she's doing a great job. So thank you, Lori, for all that you're doing. Just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.